Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing? You're welcome to Kojo on the Pod, a podcast on life and relationships. So today I'm going to invite a guest, my second guest on my newest podcast series, Entrepreneur Talks. And I'm inviting someone who would be of a blessing to me and be a blessing to you guys as well. So before I invite her, just a little, duties that I have to accomplish. So I have my subscription going on Spotify. So it's $2.99. Feel free to subscribe to listen, and help me as I go along with my journey. And also feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Coach on the Pod. So my Apple, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, you see me there. So I'm about to introduce my guests. However, feel free, ask questions in the comment section, and I'll definitely ask her as well as we go along. So thank you guys for showing up. So give me 2 seconds as I invite her on here. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Just give me a feedback if you can hear the music in the background. Please let me know if you can hear the music in the background. Please let me know. Thank you. So I hope everyone is doing well. Okay. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you again for showing up. I really appreciate your time and making an effort to be a part of my newest season and my newest episode. And it's called Entrepreneurs Talk. People ask me why entrepreneur talks, and I know for sure that you know people in your circle who are entrepreneurs, and I haven't really had a chance to talk to them, like to know the ins and outs of their entrepreneurship and how they got to where they are today and how they started and everything. So that is why I decided to have this episode or this series. And by the way, you're going to introduce yourself to us.
Okay.
I know a little bit of you. However, I would like you to introduce yourself. I think I want people to hear from the person itself, like the entrepreneur themselves, because that's the whole point. Because I don't want to just pick and choose whatever. Even though I've seen some things and I know some things about your works, I want you to also like tell us who you are. And yes, so guys, this is my guess. So up to you.
So what should go into the intro? I want to make sure I kind of
So
hit
it
all
could
the
be
points.
your name,
Okay.
it could be your brand, and then later on we can dive into what you do. So that'll be the meat of the whole thing.
Okay. So my name is Nanaya. My full name, I normally go by Nana. Um, I have a business, Drinks with Nana, um, which started around January of this year. So I'm a brand new sort of entrepreneur.
Is that it?
I mean, you said
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Should I
I
can
mean,
keep going?
okay. I
I
mean,
can.
I just want to make sure if that's how you want us to. I mean, of course, we're going to dive into the whole, genesis of how you started your business. You just give us a little bit of. So yes. So guys, welcome to the newest episode, Entrepreneur Talks, and I'm with my guest. She already introduced herself as Nanaya. I'm gonna call her Drinks with Nana. Guys, if you haven't tasted her drinks after this episode, grab your drink and don't grab your drink. All right. So how did it begin? You mentioned you started in January. But how did it begin? Where from Drinks with Nana begin?
So I'll kind of give the candid story. So basically, I work with Events by Bree. I'm on her team. I've been on her team for quite some time. Um, I came into like the concept of like the drinks and like the creative table, sort of like pick up a drink and like you have something to put on your Instagram. I came across that concept at one of the events I was doing with Bree. There's someone local. I'll put her info in the chat once we're done. But she was doing it, and I thought it was so beautiful. So I reached out to her to get an inquiry. Because my sister had an upcoming wedding, I think a few months after. So I wanted to book her. And I was still in school, but I love the concept so much that I wanted to book her. She told me her prices, and they were something I couldn't afford. So I took it upon myself to basically say, I think I can do this. I was a barista at Starbucks, so I know a few things about making drinks and how to make them taste good. So I kind of just researched what it would take to kind of like be a bartender. And then it kind of kicked off from there. Yeah.
Okay, so you said you were a barista from Starbucks, and that's
Yes.
how you. So I know there are many baristas in Starbucks as we speak right now, and they don't have their own business, right? So my question to you is, let's say for example you say you went to ask an inquiry and you got a little bit here and there. Now, if you had made that inquiry and you were denied,
Mhm.
what would you have done? Would it still be drinks with Anna today?
I would say most likely not. I think because to me it fascinated me. It was like, okay, if I can do this, I can my whole goal in kind of doing it myself was to do it for my sister's wedding.
Okay,
I didn't think it would amount to anything.
okay.
So I was able to kind of do like a nice display for my sister's wedding, and everyone kind of reached out to me and was like, hey, like, what about, can you do this for me? And then that's where it kind of kicked off. So yeah, I don't think they would be a Drinks with Nana if I had booked the person I looked to,
Right,
yeah,
right.
looked initially.
Hmm. Thanks for that, right? When you had that, did you have any chance where you doubted yourself that you could do this? Was there an
Yes.
inkling of doubt that, oh, I can do this? Like, how
Yeah,
can I just come from a barrister to be able to have my own business?
yeah, like 100%. Like I would say even to this day, I still have a lot of doubt because I have a lot going on. Like this isn't like my main thing. Um, if there's times where I struggle with like figuring out like scaling, like how can I grow the business more, or how do I make sure that I still have a personal life and still
Mm-hmm.
maintain the business. So I'm always like struggling to kind of keep up that balancing act. So I would say, yeah, like I'm always kind of doubting if I can keep going or like, yeah.
Wow. So what keeps you going? I mean, you don't tell us the secret tips, but what really keeps you going? Like on a day to day, like let's say you don't get a client today, like what keeps you going? Do you believe that like you just wasted your resources, you wasted your skills to do what you're doing, and no one is calling you, booking you for stuff? What keeps you going if you don't get calls?
Honestly, my sister and like one of my good friends, like I would say they believe in me more than I believe in myself.
Wow.
Like they're always telling me like, hey, post this. Like they're the ones always encouraging me, like post on social media and like be consistent. Honestly, I would say they keep me going. Like if it wasn't for them, I'm not sure Drinks with
Wow.
Nana would be a
Wow.
thing because
Wow. That's
they're the ones that like they're like your drinks are amazing. Like I tell them like, hey, like, maybe this is something like, I'm too ahead of myself and trying to
yes.
accomplish, but I they're the ones that honestly like encourage me. They tell me like you're doubting yourself for no reason. Your drinks are delicious. Like they speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta keep going and
Mm,
eventually it'll get to like
mm,
where you want it to go. So
mm.
yeah.
Wow. So last week or last 2 weeks, I had a guest on here, and she told me about how she got her vision for her dream. Sorry, her business. It was through a dream, and she told me that initially when she told her people, none of them were like, they didn't believe her. They're like, what are you talking about? You know. But for you to say that you mentioned this and your sisters are the one encouraging you and giving you the vigor, the vim, all of that. It's inspiring to hear. It's very inspiring to hear. And if today you're to tell someone to maybe not necessarily start a business like you are, but like, what is one thing or two things that you tell them? Hey, maybe I know you want to start a business. However, these are some of the guidelines that would help them, pursue what they want to pursue. What are some of the two things you tell them?
If they wanted to pursue a business,
Yes, something
okay.
they've been wanting to do for them for some time.
I would, I guess it would depend on the type of business.
Okay.
I think one of like my biggest struggle in the business aspect is consistency, and then also kind of like customer relations. I've had a few kind of incidents um, dealing with customers because the customer's always right, but at the same time, you want to make sure things are fair. But I would say one is know your audience. That's one thing, and then also know where you want to go. So I feel like that's something I'm personally still trying to figure out. So I would advise them to kind of write down a plan. Where do you see yourself in 6 months? Where do you see yourself in a year? And have that listed so they can always look back and reflect on it and refine it. Because yeah, like without a plan, I personally wouldn't be anywhere, and I'm still working on like fine tuning my plan.
Let's go back 2 steps, just 2 steps. You
Okay.
said that about the clients are always right and the customers. Please give me or give us a scenario that you are like, man, I did all I could do, and this people are telling me my food, my drinks is trash. I'm sure you've had reviews and comments and stuff like that. Please let us. I want to hear that part and
So,
how are you able to deal with that? How did you deal with that?
so I want to clarify. My drinks are never trash. I promise you that the product aspect is never trash. So I would say one of my very first events, I think maybe my third event, um, I encountered a situation where I went above and beyond for a client. Um, However, I do, employ other people to help me because I can't do everything
Yes.
myself. Most business owners would agree.
Yes.
So it was a situation where we stayed over for the time we allotted for. So on my employees' behalf, I asked them for just something to kind of compensate for that inconvenience and time. The customer was upset. The customer was a lawyer, so you can imagine I basically received a
Mm,
dissertation,
mm,
a
mm,
5-page
mm,
essay telling me that
mm.
I was being rude just for
Wow.
asking for that to be compensated, that time to be compensated.
Wow.
Um, that was a very hard lesson for me to learn
Wow.
because you don't sometimes you may think like you're being nice, but nice and business doesn't really correlate sometimes. You kind of have to put your foot down. You kind of have to make sure like contracts is something that I've learned. Like I always thought like, oh, I'm just doing them a favor and they're paying me. But once money is in that agreement,
Yeah.
it's no longer like, oh, we're on a buddy system.
Yeah.
So it even got to the point where she was referring to like things I had just texted her, like, to kind of reference
Mm.
like something that, is almost contractual now just because
Yeah.
it was a text. So it's like knowing these things, I'm now aware, and I would always like advise anyone like just to make sure like contractually,
Mm-hmm.
like everything you say, your word is your bond basically.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as nice in business.
Yeah.
You may give a discount and then regret it, but just make sure if you're doing that, it's something you're comfortable doing, not something you feel like you're being forced to do or have to do. So.
Yeah. So with social media and how you emerged from working at Starbucks, I'm not sure you're posting when you were making coffee and stuff too. So now that you're on social media, how is it going so far? Like, are people reaching out to you? Are people like trying to see, like, want to see how you make your drinks from scratch? Because honestly speaking, I would have loved to see how you do your. Because guys, listen. I went to an event, man, man. It was I was like, who made this thing? It was so good. I
Thank
wanted to
you.
take the whole thing home. Like it was like no jokes. Like it was so good. And again, she mentioned her drinks are not trash, which is true. Guys, you should try it. So I want to know like how you would you want to show us or again, I understand you don't want to steal your secret tips and stuff like that so they can make exact drink. But like do you think it would be an idea for you to actually show us like from the audience point of view, oh, how does drinks with Nana make her her drinks and how does she serve it and what's the thought process on social media? Do you think there's something that you're planning on
That
doing?
is something I would love to do. It's just the matter of the, first of all, time, because,
Mm-hmm.
doing all those things takes planning.
Yeah.
I did start off my page, like if you go on my page, I have a few videos where I kind of show like kind of my creative side of like making drinks,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
But that is something I would love to do, but I would say it's a matter of time because it's almost separate from doing events.
That's true.
It's almost like content creation at that
Yes.
point, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's something I love to do. I try to compare kind of what draws people more, if it's
Mm-hmm.
like them watching the tutorial style videos or
Yes.
if it's just like them seeing an event and seeing
Yes.
like how that experience. Usually the experience is what draws people more, but if there's like a need, like people reach out to me like, hey, I want to know, which I rarely ever get actually. Like usually they just want to try it.
Mm,
But
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
if there was a need, I would do it.
Okay. And you mentioned, do you have a team that like maybe picks up your call, order this, that? I mean, I can join the team if you want me to. If you want me to call, I know you're gonna get busy.
Yeah,
So if you want
I
someone
need
to,
people, yes,
hey,
but
if you want people to, I also do photography. So if you want
oh, you
pictures
do.
and stuff,
We might need to talk because I
you might
definitely
need
need a
to see.
photographer.
Yeah. And speaking about that too, that's just like a way of
Yeah.
networking. How are you networking in this space? Like, how are you networking with? I know you know Event by Bree. Event by Bree. Very soon, I'm gonna have her on here. So she's gonna be that lady,
Boss lady,
a
yeah.
boss lady. That lady, full of wisdom. So you have her as an example, like
Yeah.
seeing how she was able to come from, zero to where she is and now where you are. Like, how are you balancing? Like, of course, I'm sure you need events to present your drinks. You don't just show it up just for the sake of it. So
Right.
how are you networking what you do with events planners, events organizers, and stuff like that on
So
social
I
media?
would say I'm kind of deeply immersed into like the event space. So I work with Bree. I'm also her assistant, her admin assistant.
Okay.
I also work with Light Source. I don't know if you're
Oh,
familiar.
I've not heard of light
Um,
source. What's light source?
I so basically it's like a production company. It's a huge production company in the DMV area. If you just look them up, you'll see them. And
Okay.
they don't only do weddings, they do like corporate events, like
Okay.
yeah, they're huge. So I work with them as well. So within kind of working with them and the Life Source owner,
Mhm.
he's great. Like he's a very nice guy. Like if you kind of tell him about, what you do in your business, like he'll connect you with like the right people.
Mhm.
Same with Bree. Bree's
Mhm.
like my big sister. She
Yeah.
gives me advice on my business. Like
Yes.
she looks over like my
Yes.
contracts. She'll like direct clients to me.
Yes.
Um, and then also I try to partner with like people who do events as well.
Mhm.
One person, my friend who does balloon decor and proposals.
Okay.
I think she did your
Oh,
proposal.
really,
Yeah,
Joanna?
yeah, my
Oh,
very good
wow.
friend. So I
Wow.
collaborated with her. So we
Okay.
try to do events. She'll also like introduce me to any clients that are interested as well.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
think we have a good, pretty kind of dynamic going
Knowledge.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're all trying to help each other, like,
Yeah.
like network and then meet different people. Um, so yeah, I would say networking, like mainly just being in that industry and being able to connect with them who have even more connections. I'm able to kind of, yeah, like,
Speaking of networking, right? Again, I don't know if I have. So I'm telling you what I do on it. So I have my podcast. I'm a photographer. Um, I do the 360. So because
Yeah, I saw that today.
yes. So since you are part of, I'm going to use the opportunity. I don't know. I don't know if I'll get this opportunity again, but we do 360. So if your people need,
Of
you know,
course,
360 photography, we are here.
of
So that's
course,
that again is the connection, the networking that
absolutely.
So that I'm just let you know. So don't make it look I didn't tell you. I'm just let you know.
I won't forget. I
Okay.
promise. Like,
And also, yeah, guys, on here, I'm gonna make this. You are going to serve at my wedding. You're gonna serve at my wedding.
you're
It's
making the
on record.
declaration here.
It's
Okay.
on record. Bree, of course, I'm
Of
taking
course.
him. You are gonna serve my. That. There's no
I'll
two
be
ways about it.
ready, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure my fiance will love your drinks. So
Yes.
yes,
We can
so
do a
that'll be.
tasting session and everything if you
We
want.
are we at your service. We are at your service. Just let us know when and where, and we
Of
got you.
course.
Um, support. Like do you actually, I mean, apart from the people that you mentioned, is there anyone or any group of people outside these people that support your business, like that hold you down? Is there, I mean, aside from family and Bree and Joanna and is there any other people that support you? Like, be honest.
Not necessarily. I don't necessarily create that opportunity, I would say. It's mainly just family. Like my little brother goes with me to almost every event. My sister, I have her review contracts and budgeting, and she helps me with inventory. It's become like a family
A
business.
family thing.
Yeah. So outside of
Wow.
that, yeah, I would say we keep it pretty in-house.
Okay, okay. And do you see drinks with Anna to be? I see you with the shirt. I need one of your
Yeah,
shirts. I
I
mean,
just got
so
I'm trying to.
are you selling it or is just for just in house?
This was for like, yeah, more in-house, but I
Okay,
can if people are
okay.
interested.
I mean, if again, that's what I'm referring to. I think when you build the
Mhm.
the audience, with the social media, this is just consultation, just for free. I don't do it on a regular basis. But like, if you have to build your audience and say, oh, this is what I'm bringing, and they've tried your drinks, it's like, oh, why not, buy this merch to support you? Because for me,
Yeah.
as we speak, I just recently created a monthly subscription for my podcast,
Oh, that's awesome.
just for people who love to listen to my podcast and support. It's not necessarily you should pay to
Mhm.
listen, but if you want to support my journey, just like you are, starting from January, like you started a business,
Yeah.
I'm sure people have come to you, giving you like some tips here and there. It's all part of support. It could be money, it could be just advice, it could be buying your merch. You never know where it's gonna go. So is that something down the line that you're looking at, or I mean, I just give an idea. It's something you're looking at the line
Um,
and share.
I would say, yeah, I definitely like have thoughts of expanding.
Okay.
For me, like one thing like my sister has been pushing on me is kind of like potentially like bottling up like my drinks, like having signature drinks, bottling it up, selling it. I've seen like other companies similar to mine doing
Mm,
the same.
mm, mm,
Also, I've kind of been just researching possibly doing like coconuts. I don't know if
mm.
you've ever seen those decorative coconuts.
I
So
haven't.
yeah, I'm always looking for ways to kind of expand, um, looking for like rental,
Mm,
um, switching to like a rental aspect of things.
mm,
Um, as far as support, I would say as of now, the only thing that I can see myself really needing support is like, people like reposting, sharing my content, because that really allows me to get more leads. Because people just, I feel like once people kind of see the content, they're just like, oh yeah, like my brother's getting married, my cousin's getting married, like they would love this.
yeah.
So I would say for now, like just that kind of social media support is kind of what gets me, going.
Okay. Um, I think yes. I'm picking up last 2 weeks the conversation I had with the entrepreneur about competition, and she's in the clothing line. She does clothing, fashion, and stuff. And I asked her like, does she get like, I mean, there's competition everywhere. Like in every industry you find yourself, even in the podcast industry, there's competition, you know. And I wanted to know, like, for you, like, have you had any form of competition, or you don't see that to be competition, or you see that to be a way of improving yourself? I don't know how you see competition as an entrepreneur, and with your business as a whole, like, or with the industry as a whole, do you find that to be something that bothers you or worries you as you go along with your journey as a bartender, or as an entrepreneur?
I would say at this early point, I'm not really worried about competition. I would say it's a very niche sort of like idea or concept. Like right now, I only know about maybe two other companies that are doing the same in the DMV area.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I would say personally, it's more of me growing to kind of see them as competitors because right now I'm so early in kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um, to necessarily like worry about competition, I'm more kind of getting like just getting my name out there.
Yeah.
Um, of course, I will have to worry about competition, but I
Yeah.
think at that point that just comes to the point of like where I'm my product obviously kind of stands out,
Yeah.
like I'm personable,
Yeah.
how I relate to customers, and then
Yeah.
pricing. So
Yeah.
I try to be competitive with pricing because, as I mentioned, like I reached out to one of them,
Mm-hmm.
for their pricing, and
Yeah.
the average person is
Yeah.
not able to afford what they were providing. So, I, to me, that was the most important thing to me going in is making sure that
Mm.
it's an affordable
Mm.
sort of experience that everyone, if they wanted,
Yeah.
could have that.
Mm.
So.
So just a little insight. So is it like you have pricings for different classes of people? Because of course there are classes of people in society. You have the low class, middle class, and the rich people. So if today I come to you, hey, Nana, I want something small for my, my get together. Would you consider? Would you look up at me, look up and down? This guy, can you afford my drinks? Like, do you look at that, or you look at it from a perspective of this is my contract? Anyone can afford it. I want to know the insights as to your business and how things go.
Yeah, I definitely try to make sure like I don't look at like, I don't look up like people's houses when they provide me the venue. Like I don't do that. I what I do is it's all based on like what you give me. So if you're telling me if it's a wedding and you have 250 people, I'm gonna charge you for 250 people. It's all about like the amount of labor that my team has to put in. Um, I honestly, and then also like I know I mentioned to you why I wanted to be like a faceless company. Like I don't want people to know my face. I don't want them to see that I'm Ghanaian. Like I want them to see the name Nana.
Why do you have that?
And
I want to know
and I'll
why. Tell me
explain to
why.
you.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
explain
listening.
to you. So
I'm listening.
to me, once you see that I'm Ghanaian, be like, oh, my sister, you know?
Ah,
Yeah. Or they see the name Nana, oh, she's African, so she's gonna charge high. Like, like there's certain stereotypes that I kind of want to get out of, and you'll notice like Bree, she doesn't have pictures of her on her page. She's posting her content. Like she doesn't want to be an African decorator. I don't want to be an African bartender. I want to be someone providing a service. I don't
right,
want to necessarily be put into a bucket where
right.
people feel like, does, does that make
It
this?
makes
Yeah.
sense
It's,
now.
yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
because I was like, I mean, if you are doing good, I think you
Hmm.
want people to know who's behind this good stuff. But I can understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
because again, you know, I don't know. It's not everybody,
Yeah.
but our people. Oh, sister, give me some discounts. Even me,
Exactly.
cry came to us. Hey, give me some discount because I know you. However, like that's what I was asking. Like I can understand why you want it to be faced up because you don't want people to know you too much,
Exactly.
and you also want to relate to them. Like as in, I am someone who's presenting
Exactly.
a service to you. So you're
Exactly.
gonna take me or not take me, but don't take
Exactly.
me because I am Ghanaian or because I'm black
Exactly.
or because I'm in your neighborhood or because
Exactly.
we were classmates or classmates or whatever. Just take me as I'm serving you.
Yeah.
So if you that's it. So but I truly believe that people consider these things before they even, go ahead and patronize something. And for
Exactly.
me, I'm not just only inviting, I think so far I've invited black people on my show and I'm not discriminating other races. So for me, so long as you're going to add some value to my show, I'm going to bring you on. If you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, that's what it is, you know. And I'm open to having conversations with a lot of people, not just black people. So if you're out there and you think my show is it's about black people, it's not. It's entirely for the human race.
Exactly.
So, guys, if you're listening to us, this is Kojo on the Pod. It's a podcast on life and relationships. And today, I'm having my wonderful guest, Nanaya. I call her Drinks with Nana. And guys, if you haven't tasted her drinks, go to Drinks with Nana on Instagram. Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok, yes.
Please stay on TikTok. TikTok, that's where it is. Go on TikTok. Are you on YouTube as well?
Not on YouTube. That's something I need to,
You need to go there.
Record my videos and put there.
I don't know, it was a week or so. I was talking to a lady and I was telling her that, listen, you have so much content on your phone. Why is it not on social media? Go on. You have content like podcast, like Instagram, like this is just passive income. Like you're sleeping and making money. Like think about it. I understand that okay, you want to do the whole hustling vibe, all of that. I get it, but in the future, no, it's like just sitting home and you getting paid for people to just watch your videos. Can you imagine? Just watch your videos. It's a blessing, and as part of what you mentioned, content creation. Like everything we're doing is content creation. Like right now, from now, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna use bits and post it on TikTok and stuff like that. Just so like I understand we are all like in the work hustle thing, but let's be smart.
We need passive income. That's where the real money is.
That's where it is. Let your money that's where it is.
Let it work for you.
Let it work for you. So again, this is just my 2 cents. You take it, fine. If you don't take it too,
I agree.
No, 100%. So please go on Instagram, LinkedIn. LinkedIn too.
Everything, yeah.
Just post it out there. Because I told someone that this content we're doing is a digital is a digital asset in the sense of it's keeping track of how we've come. Because in the years to come, it's like we are documenting our life pretty much.
Definitely.
So like if 10, 20 years down the line, you look at it like, wow, this was Drinks with Nana, and now she's 7 Bill Gates. She's 7.
Exactly.
It's like, wow. So if I hadn't documented this thing, who would have known?
Yeah.
And I think the importance of documenting is not necessarily writing a whole nice paragraph. And I was telling somebody, listen, I know you want to do a podcast. Don't be so in a hurry to buy equipment and just take your phone. Just the
start somewhere.
Exactly. The content in your mouth is the quality. That's the quality. It's not necessarily about, of course, as time goes on, you will be seeing this thing here. And as time goes on, you'll be seeing this. As time goes on, you see me having my own studio, stuff like that. As time goes on, you'll be there for a long time. As time goes, you might have your own working people. Hey, do this. Just sit in there and you're just making money. So I was telling people like, listen, I understand you have the idea, you have the content. Put it out there because you don't know. You don't know who's gonna watch your video and say, oh, you don't know. Once you go on YouTube and you listen, I'm just saying this because I believe that words are powerful. Words are very, very powerful. So like you are sitting on gold. It's like literally you're sitting on gold and you're praying to God for gold. When it's literally beneath your bum. Sorry to say, but yeah, that's what it is. So guys, if you want to start a podcast, do something, photography, videography, whatever you want to do, just do it. Don't wait till you have everything figured out. No, start now, because it's the best time.
Absolutely.
This is the best time to start it. So thank you so much, Drinks with Nana. Thank you so much, Nanaya, for
thanks for having me.
Being a blessing to us, and I really appreciate that. Very soon, of course, we'll definitely do business outside here. And guys, don't forget to go check her out. I'm saying again because her drinks, ooh la la.
And you only had 2, so imagine if you had.
Imagine if it was a whole collection. Guys, thank you so much. And
of course, thanks for having me.
And this is Drinks with Nana. Go follow her, and I don't know. person, she might have a face on her page. I don't know, but we'll see. But this you guys have seen. You guys have seen yourself. This is the
The face
maestro
behind the
behind
brand.
exactly. Yes. So thank you so much,
Of course.
and I
Thanks
look
for
forward to having
having
more
me.
conversations with you, and we'll talk behind again. And so, guys, feel free to subscribe to my Spotify. It's $2.99, and yeah, listen to my podcast on Apple, Spotify, TikTok, yeah, somewhere LinkedIn as well, and also yeah, YouTube and all of that. Coach on the pod. Without further ado, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day, guys. So, peace out.
Bye.
Peace out. Take care,
Thanks, Kajo.
and you're welcome.